Hello there, RC. I'm going to do a video now on the facilities of factories. I have a few examples of different ways you can signify factories. You can, if you want, buy these factories. You can use some kind of chit system. You can stamp the chits. I had these numbered for the amount of production of 1, 3, or 5. Just blank chits. Or you can use some kind of cities or plastic sculpts or 3D sculpts of your choice. These ones, if you're curious, are found in the classic Axis and Allies game, and this one is from the Europe and Pacific, not the Global 41, the previous ones. And then these ones here are just the same thing, but they've been painted, as you can see by the gray on the bottom. Or I've seen people paint the stacks, whatever. It doesn't really matter what you're using, right? The game itself is a blank canvas. When you order the game, I did order these with it. You don't have to, all right? So that's just an option. Showing you some options so you can make a decision to what fits your game best. All right. In section 12, you'll find they got unit and facility types, and they got factories represent the industrial production. Capacity of a land zone. This would include armament factories and infrastructure to support the production. There are 3 types of factories, as I've already described: minor, major, and medium. A zone can hold more than one factory, just like all the other facilities and all the previous version 2 of this game. You could build more than one factory in the same zone. So if you want to, you can have none, or you can have 110. Nobody cares. It's just what are you willing to spend your money on. All right. There's also a section under factories. There's a table on 12-2 that shows you major, medium, and minor factories. It tells you what the production levels are. I'll go over that quickly here. Obviously, just like my stamp, there's 1, 3, and 5. That's how many units you can make. The maximum damage is 5, 10, and 20. And if you've got 1 damage on here, you lose the ability to build a unit. So if this one's got 1 damage, it can build nothing. If this one's got 1 damage, it can build 2. And if this one's got 1 damage, it can build 4. Right? So in order to build anything at the said factory, you need to repair the damage potentially to be able to build. All right, these things can be damaged by strategic bombing, and they do have built-in anti-aircraft guns. So take a look at strategic bombing and it'll explain the system for you there. Building and upgrading, you can build all of these factories in the home country. According to the rules, you can only build the minor factory outside of the home country, and all factories must be built on a land zone that has a dollar value. So if it doesn't have one of these fancy little red squares with a white number on it, you cannot build there. It also needs to have a supply path, and this port here is a minor, so it doesn't give a supply. So you need to build either a railroad, upgrade this port first, build a railroad through here to connect to an actual port there. Know what I mean? You got to connect it to a supply path. And yes, all of these facilities may be captured, all 3 of them. According to the rules, as soon as you capture any facility, if it's not yours, it becomes, let's use the example of the French here, because often Germany will take over Paris. So you take over the German Paris factory, it becomes a minor factory as far as Germany is concerned. If it becomes liberated and goes back to the French, it automatically reverts to a major factory again. All right, so this is how any factory that gets captured, you don't even have to take it off. You just know if it's captured, it only operates as a minor, according to the rules. All right. I already covered anti-aircraft. Now, the costs are very different for each facility. In the previous game, the minor cost 2 turns at 5, and the major cost 4 turns at 5 for a total of 10 and 20. Now they've changed it a little bit. They've taken away the 4th turn. So the minor gets built in 1 turn for 8. The medium gets built in 2 turns for 7. And the major gets built in 3 turns for 6. So they are technically a little bit cheaper, but they've also increased the per turn cost, so it kind of compresses the cost into a shorter period of time. So it's something to keep an eye out for if you're a previous version 2 player. To upgrade the facility, this one starts at, you can build this one at an 8. To upgrade it to a medium, you pay the cost it would have cost for the medium to go to stage 2, which is 7. So 8 and then 7. So it's actually $1 more to upgrade a minor. Build a minor and upgrade it to a medium. However, on the turn that you're upgrading it to a medium, it started as minor, so you can still build 1 unit there. All right, same thing with the medium. It costs 2 at 7. Now, let's say you wanted to upgrade it to a major. That's going to cost you what the major costs for turn 3. That would be $6 for 1 turn. However, you can still build the 3 units here while you're upgrading it to a major, right? So it's whatever it was at the start of the turn. That's just production, not what it is at the end of the turn. All right. That's pretty much it for a facility. So yes, got to be built in a supply path. And the minors can be built on any location that's got a dollar value. The medium and the major have to be built in a location that has a dollar value in the home country. And is in a supply path. There's no limit to how many you can build, and it doesn't require a factory to build a factory. So building a minor factory is not taking a build slot away from a factory in the home country. All right. Just like when you build a sea base, an air base or a seaplane base, it's not taking a factory slot as far as I know. All right, so there we go. That's the basics of a factory. Here, let's do a quick French example because they have home country and not home country relatively close to each other. So the French home country, let's crank this up. There we go. You can see that quite clearly. Like all home countries connected to the capital, Bright Roundel, and the same continuous landmass, unless otherwise described in the rules. So this is the home country of France, is continental Europe, France. Northern Algeria is a colony. So if France wanted to, slide this forward, in southern France it could build a minor, a medium, or a major factory. All right? There's a supply path from this port here down to this port here. They're both blue. They provide supply path. So if you wanted to, you could build a minor factory down here. Because this is not home country, you cannot build a medium or a major factory outside of home country. Now, the funny thing is, if you want to, you could build 2 majors, medium, and a minor all in Paris, and that's allowed by the rules. You just got to build them the appropriate way. All right? Screw it. Give them another minor. Why not? Right? And give them another minor. You can do that. It's up to you. All right? Now I'm going to leave you there. I will have a following video on house rules for medium factories. I had a medium factory house rule in version 2. The game's version of medium factories kind of hits on it and kind of doesn't. I'll do that in a separate video describing what the differences are for those of you that may have watched my previous videos. All right, and I will leave you there. So this is RC saying factories. You pretty much got them. They're not that complicated. But see you later. Enjoy your game.